Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Superstars of Wrestling Review Series for October 9th, 1993. Sadly, this will put the end to the Superstars series for a while until more become available, but we've got over 170 now. We're close to it. We're either at 170 or right below it. Episodes available in the archive here on YouTube. Also, over 150 Mid South. We're going to add probably another 50 to that, maybe even more depending on what's available in other sources that aren't the network. Just really looking forward to that. Demento and Warner against Men on a Mission is here, and kind of again, a bit of a odd thing. They continue to kind of push Men on a Mission, but they don't really hit their major push till probably about 6 months down the road here, probably right around Mania. I think is when they pick the tag belts up for like 2 days or a week or something like that. Damien Demento goes right at Mo, more aggressive than imagined actually. And I remember when I was watching, I was like, "Hey, he got a few shots in on Mo. Big surprise." Vertical suplex by Mo. Mo with the gets poked in the eye, stumbles around, tries to make the tag. Big Mabel comes in, tag to Mabel. Mabel with the slam, and then the tag to the lesser of the enhancement talents. One-legged drop kick by Mabel. Amazing to see a guy that size get up for a drop kick. Probably close to legit 425, 450 pounds. I know they said 500, but they probably added some weight there anyway. Mabel and Mo stomp around. I will say, I remember seeing Men on a Mission at house shows, 93, 94 era, and the kids loved them. I was never a kid that was really into them. They were doing the Whoop There It Is song by Tag Team as kind of an entrance theme. I don't even know if they legally had the right to do it, but they were doing it back in 94-ish, and kids were up with it quite a bit there. Anyway, Mabel takes a couple of shots, actually hits a vertical suplex, and then hits a DDT, kind of pancaking the guy, and Men on a Mission get the victory. Update on Bret Hart and Jerry Lawler. They have settled nothing against each other, is the update there. I mean, I think they actually were headed to Survivor Series with teams against each other in, 93, but Lawler had his legal trial for being accused of being inappropriate with a minor here in 1993. He was eventually acquitted of that. Mitch Bishop and Adam Bomb is there, and ultimately kind of seeing Adam Bomb continue to get pushed. He never really hits a stride as a heel. I think like losing to Earthquake in a matter of minutes at WrestleMania 10, probably the biggest heel thing he did. He didn't really do much until he was a babyface. Johnny Polo's there. Kind of a wasted talent in his own right. I think he could have done more as a talker. And big soccer kick by Adam Bomb. Bomb tries to use his power. Doesn't really use it here. I actually liked Adam Bomb almost better in Smoky Mountain. Big drop kick under the chin by Adam Bomb. And again, kind of, ultimately there. Slingshot clothesline by Bomb. Bomb comes in and gets a powerbomb at a victory, and that's that. Face off Razor Ramon and the IRS. IRS accuses Razor of cheating on his taxes. Razor says the real cheat is IRS, and that's that. Red Tyler is here, and Red Tyler is the opponent for Mr. Perfect. What's interesting is I think they did that in 88 or 89, and then here again in 93. Red Tyler's always been one of the enhancement guys I really enjoyed. He was just memorable, had a good look, almost reminded me of a Lenny Lane type character, and could be a big deal here in this era. Anyway, gets a couple shots off on Hennig, gets a headbutt or two, doesn't really get a lot, but gets enough to where, hey, you have some minor respect for it. Dropkick by Hennig under the chin, as always, manages to do quite well with the drop kicks. Chops on the outside, and then brings it back in. Hits more chops on the inside. Inverted neck snap followed. And actually, what's interesting is Red Tyler hits the discus punch that Kerry Von Erich, who had committed suicide earlier in the year of 1993, used to use. Razor Ramon started using it too. Now that Kerry had passed, knee lift by Hennig, and Hennig with the standing drop kick. And ultimately, match goes a little longer than expected, but ends with the perfect plex, as would be expected. Joink Doink is made to pay by Bam Bam Bigelow for the practical jokes played on him the previous week in an interview set. Basically, Bigelow bullies Doink around, and that's that. Well done against Virgil and Jerry Fox. Jerry Fox is a guy that I was on a couple of shows with in my early days, and he wasn't around too much. I don't even know that he did that many more enhancement talent matches, maybe a couple, but very quiet to himself kind of guy. And there's also Dave Fox that did enhancement talents too. I was much more around Dave, who was a Native American fellow who unfortunately died of a heart attack after a match in the late 90s, early 2000s. Hard to remember. I was there that night, but I don't remember the exact date or anything. Would have been, 20 plus years ago. Anyway, big hip tosses by Virgil. Timothy Well goes over the top rope, brings Well back in the hard way. Virgil still looking good here in 93. Virgil's one of the few guys that's been to legend status that I have, and I can honestly say I have nothing good to say about Virgil. In the interactions I had with him, he is not a kind person and a hustler. In all honesty, has been my experience the few times I've met him, and it's that way more than once. But anyway, a side headlock takeover by Fox, and he manages to kind of link up there. Well done. Finally does get things going back in their general direction using double team maneuvers. They get things going and eventually get the victory. Undertaker against Rod Bell. Obviously, they're trying to set up Undertaker and Yokozuna. They kind of stall that a little bit, but it is set up over the next month or so, culminating in the Survivor Series teams doing business with each other, and ultimately, things are there, and it's pretty assertive. Undertaker figures and other things are there. They do the Superstars magazine, that probably in fourth or fifth iteration that they did yearly, which was a cool magazine for the kids that followed it at the time. I remember it being big with the wrestling fans at my middle school, the Wrestling Superstars magazine when it came out, and then elementary school in the years before that. But anyway, and there was a good number of wrestling fans. I'd actually be interested to know any teachers or people, how many fans do you have that are kids these days? I bet you the number's much, much lower than in the old days. Anyway, Taker gets a few shots off, sends the guy into the buckle on both sides, hits the choke slam, and then the tombstone. 1, 2, 3. Undertaker gets a victory. Face to face with the Smoking Guns. Smoking Guns promised to be one of the best teams in the area. Promised to fire up. They're challenging the Head Shrinkers. Speaking of which, Head Shrinkers have the final match of the day. Head Shrinkers against Steve Nixon and Tony Bithra. And I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but basically, they do a really simplistic squash match. Headbutts, back kicks, and the like. Head Shrinkers working together the whole time. Obviously, the match is a brawl. It's meant to get them over as a big thing. The Guns are working with them around the horn for probably a good 6 months, probably through the Survivor Series, and had been working with them for a while. I remember seeing 2 separate house show matches with them. One of the Head Shrinkers with a brainbuster type maneuver. I think it was Samu hit the brainbuster and kind of really laid out the enhancement talent. They come in, they double brawl with him, and then you kind of see the top rope splash. Final thing of note is comments from Rick Martel and Razor Ramon, who are going to face this coming Monday for the Intercontinental Championship. Obviously, the first Intercontinental Championship run for Razor. I think he's a 4-time champ in the end by the time he leaves the company, but that is that. We will ultimately be closing out Superstars, at least for a while. I'm always looking for more. We're going to go back to the nature of the Mid-South area. We're going to finish that over the next couple of weeks. And then, ultimately, not a fan, but got to cover Raw on Monday. First Raw of 2021. I'm expecting it to be junk just like the rest. But join us anyway. I watch it so you don't have to. And ultimately, you can save time. Spend time with your family. Hopefully that's good for you in 2021 on your work, whatever it is you do. But you don't have to watch junky wrestling, that's for sure. Here in this very uncertain time in American history and in our country and all that good stuff and in the world. Hopefully you can find something else to do with your time, and it's more enjoyable for you. And I'm trying to find there we are. I'm trying to find my mouse link. There we go. So we'll be back with more right after this.